Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is scumbag, and I love to play Red Orchestra 2, but you shouldn't play it because it's too hard for you. And I'm here to talk about something that I kind of wanted to bring up. Oh, I'm going to lower the volume just a bit. There we go. I don't want to make it too loud. I wanted to talk about something that kind of got to me a little bit, which when I was checking this stuff. So, something that doesn't add up, and that some people on the community might be able to debunk, maybe a little bit more specific. By the way, that like to dislike ratio is incredible. You can't tell me that those aren't bots, but it's okay. So here's what I want to talk about right now, and I want to show you three little things here. I don't know if this is fine. No, hold on, I gotta lower this up a little bit. Where was it? So I'm over here. Here it is. So a few things that I want to talk about. And the first thing is that there's something that doesn't add up with the math of this. So he had his little gaming event of the apocalypse because he's a funny man, of course, and he got $165. 150 came from three whales, three of the retards that he calls supporters. Remember, these people have mental disabilities, remember. These people are not right in the head, but they support him anyway. You know, Teambo Slice, or I don't know, no, not Teambo Slice. 1 Minute Man, who's Planet Jeff. Some other guy, I don't remember. Honestly, it's the same retarded people that keep ruining all this shit in the world. And then I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, so his fucking super ad thing was a fucking failure. This was supposed to be a big event with tons of money or whatever. It's $165. But then this was on the 25th of November, by the way. Forgot to give it a like and share. Gotta share that shit. Then I went over here, and TJ Gamebox, the day before, gave us a little bit of a deep cover thing about Down from the Rafters, which is, in case you don't know anything about DSP, DSP is addicted to this game called WWE Champions. Down from the Rafters is his account. It doesn't matter how many times he tries to deny it, the evidence is there. Every bit of evidence that has been shown is factual evidence. This guy has been proven. He wants to disprove it by saying, well, that's not true, because it's not. And it's how Phil Burnell, the retard, always counters shit. It's like, I'm saying it's not true because it's not true, and now you have to believe me, and then he mocks people that believe him. But this is beautiful, because according to TJ Gamebox, this is the minimum that he has spent during the day. Again, 2 days ago, pretty much. But really, it was about yesterday. I mean, still 2 days ago. $814. This is the minimum that he spent. Now, my problem with this is that this is the same guy, obviously, that cries poor every 2 seconds. You know, that's the same old story. There's not much to say about this. But the math doesn't add up. That's my problem. There's something that's not adding up in this case, and that's the weirdest part about this. There's something that's not adding up when it comes to numbers in this case. So I mean, 24, and look at the jump. I love the jump on this. This is how much money he spent, $100,000, maybe more, on WWE Champions. Next guy probably spent maybe 200,000. This guy 250,000. Maybe this guy $500,000, maybe. Cool, $500,000. But then the thing that really gets to me, the thing that's really, really incredible about this is that there's a massive, massive difference of income here. So remember, this is from DSP's own mouth. Now, obviously, we need to always assume that DSP is a lying piece of shit because he's always lying. We don't have to assume it. He's a liar. But the important point that I want to specify with this, and the things that doesn't add up, which I want to get to with the DSP Trip Striker up here, is that he makes approximately, at this point, I think it's between $7,000 and $8,000. Let's round it up to $8,000 from all sources, most of which are tips, I believe. If I'm not crazy, I think it's like 2/3 of it are tips, and the remains are super chats, which he gets on his YouTube check, and his ad revenue, which is I think it's $500, maybe $1,000. So most of it comes from tips. Now we know that the pig doesn't budget. So this and what I wanted to make the video about is that this guy has basically been like getting credit cards to spend money on this. I mean, that's the only possibility for this, because we know that DSP does not save up money throughout the months. He doesn't save up. He has no money saved up in case of an emergency, in case of something. He uses the money that he needs. But the reason why I'm making this video again is because I think that he has credit cards now. Now, he had a bankruptcy 4 years ago, something like that. 2019. I don't remember when, but he had the bankruptcy, which was leaked, which proved that he was spending all this money on WWE champions by getting those fucking cards that were like $100.69 or something. $109 or something like that, just so that he could get pulls on WWE champions. And he doesn't save money up, basically. He gets it and immediately spends it. That's what was proven with the bank leaks. And now his credit is so bad that he can't get any new credit cards, at least for the next 4, 5, 6 years, at least. And shit, he's been talking about refinancing his house. So, I mean, all this stupid kind of shit. But all those so he can have more money, which is the stupidest thing in the world. You're losing out on money by refinancing your house. But okay, he's probably gonna end up like oh, now I gotta pay less per month for 10 more years. I gotta pay $10 per month for 10 more years. Isn't that great? Some stupid shit like that. Regardless, what I want to talk about is the fact that he has to have, at this point, a credit card for this. Now, from what I Googled, I'm not going to show it here, it's possible to play and buy these cards that let you play WWE champions with a credit card. So what I think, based on this, because the money doesn't add up, this is from his own words. He said, all the money that I get at the end of the month goes into bills and food and whatever, which I know is true in this case because he doesn't have money saved up. But a lot of that check money goes also to WWE champions, to this. So I was like, okay, so he probably was expected to get like maybe $300 or something on this shit, but he got $150. He knew, by the way, he was going to get $150. He gets it on the Discord. Like, his retards tell him, like, hey, man, I'll donate 50, and this guy's donate 50, and this guy's donate 50, and then the rest of it, like $84 from some people, and then like $15 from like 2 other like mentally handicapped individuals. But my point is this, and this is what I want to show you. So if we look at all of November right now, this is the problem that we've had with November. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those 5 days were the ones that he was sick because of some bullshit, I don't know, but he canceled 5 days, which was great, by the way. I'm very happy by that. And then he canceled the day stream, and then cut the dents immediately, the same people that donate all the money to him, so he's retarded. But then you start to add up all this money, and this is already assuming that he got all this. This is, how much is this? This is, there's a way to see this. How much is this? How much is this? So there it is. At the bottom, you can tell. Like, if we go up to here, it's $2,864. Plus the YouTube check, which is approximately the same amount. So let's go to $5,000. Plus the Patreon, another $200. And this is only the tips he's had until this moment. Remember, tips, according to him, is the money that he has in this moment to use. Assuming that he hasn't been spending any money, which we know is false. He's been spending $800 and how much was it? $814 on this. Plus all his bills, plus all the food that he gets, plus you actually have to discount the $70 that he spent, or like $50 or $70 that he spent door dashing all that food that he ate in the Apocalypse event. So the thing that doesn't add up is that the money that he has doesn't add up. Like the $814, again, according to TJ Gamebox, this is the bare minimum that it could be. It could actually be more. It could be 1,000, but we're using his specific numbers for this. He has to have a credit card at this point. Now, what kind of credit cards? If you go to Google, like just go like credit cards with high interest rates. Like credit card interest rates for November. Which credit cards had the best interest rate? I don't know which one it was. I remember I saw it somewhere. I don't remember where, but basically there are a lot of like scummy companies that give you like credit cards when you can't get them from a bank or somewhere else, and they tell you, okay, no, we'll give you a credit card. but the interest rate is super high when you have to pay in installments and everything else. And my theory is that one. I mean, it has to. I mean, it has to be fact at this point because he doesn't have money, according to his own words. Again, we don't believe DSP, and this might sound like a contradiction at this point. But assuming that what he says is true, and assuming that he doesn't save money from the other thing, like he goes all into bills, this tells me that he can just drop $800 plus the controller that he bought because he broke the other one. He said like, nah, I don't have money to like replace my window shades, but I spent $800 on this. This tells me that he's got his priorities set straight. He's willing to spend all his money on WWE champions, but he's not willing to spend any on his house. On controllers, he's willing to spend like 50, maybe $100 on a controller, but at the same time, he's not willing to take Jasper out and to the doctor, or the vet in this case, his fucking son. So my theory, again, this is only a theory, but the numbers don't add up, essentially, what I'm trying to say. Like, if he spends like all his tips money in taxes, and then he spends all this money, because, by the way, $89 a day is not a lot of money. Like, $200 a day is also not really, I mean, yeah, it kind of is a lot of money, but this is variable. So even if you, like, divide this per, what's the average? Like, I don't know, like 200 and divided by how many, like, since the third here, since 233 divided by how many of these are there? Like 20 days, 2,000, that's about, that's not $200, is it? 200 times 10? No, that's like $100 per day. $100 is not a lot of money to have. Like, he might be happy that he gets $100 in tips and no, like, super chats, but even then, after taxes, after everything that he has to pay back, after the fact that he, you know, scammed the IRS, the money doesn't add up. This is something that I'm trying to point out. Like, the money that he spends on this is telling me we have two options here. It's basically he's either spending money from the YouTube check, which he says goes to bills and such, to buy this, or he has more money than he makes it out to be, which I don't think it's enough, because the people that calculate the money, they already know. Like, there are people out there that add up the super chats, they add up the super chats, the what's the name of this? The tips tracker by Piece of Piece. So shout outs to Piece of Piece, amazing guy. He knows what he's doing, but the money doesn't add up. There's something going on here. Like, you just don't drop $800 in one day when you're fucking like crying that you don't have any money for bills or like for other stuff. I mean, the money for bills is basically for this. So the real question is, where is this money coming from? Is this coming from the tips, or is this coming from the YouTube check? So the two theories, or the two real possibilities, this is not coming from the tips money, $150. That's not what he gets per day. He gets about $100 per day on average. So let's say about $3,000 a month. Let's average it out. Maybe like maybe a little bit more. Actually, like 3,000, 4,000. Maybe like $100 per day per month, per week. I mean, I'm sorry, per day. That's 6 days a week that he streams. So let's say $600, $2,400, and this one, you know, will compensate it. But it's probably more. It's probably less. I'm just conjecturing right now. But again, kind of going in circles with this. The tips are not it, because he doesn't save the money for the tips. $814 tells me two possibilities. He's using a credit card with very high interest rates to pay for this shit, or he's dipping into the YouTube check. The beginning of, whether you get it the first week of the next month or something like that, like the 5th or the 7th, the first week, whatever. So those are the two possibilities, because he does not get enough money from tips to spend on this. We know that. We know that much right now. So this has to be those two options. He either got a credit card with very high interest rates, or he's finally began to dip into the YouTube check so that he can keep playing this. Because in the past, I remember that, again, like a year or 2 years ago, he got the money immediately from the tips and he would immediately spend it on WWE champions. Like during the time that he was playing, during the time when he's online and offline, which has already been proven by many people out there on the internet. I'm not going to point it out. It's there. I haven't done the research, but this is all there. The evidence is there. So that's what I really wanted to make the video about. My conclusion is that at this point, there are only two real possibilities. It's not the tips. He's either A, dipping into the tax, I'm sorry, the YouTube check, which he gets at the beginning of the month, which is about $3,000, maybe $3,500 in total. That's including the Patreon, which is another $200. I haven't checked DSP's Patreon. I don't really care. And the tips, which is another like $3,500. So let's say, again, on average, let's make an estimate, maybe $7,500, $8,000, $80K a year, $90K a year, approximately $96,000 a year, maybe. He did not have the money, so these are my only two options. So he's either getting so desperate for pools that he's starting to dip into the YouTube check, or he's gotten a credit card that he can't get from a bank because of his horrible credit rate, and he's doing this. Those are my two options right now, and that's really the theory that I wanted to speculate with this. So that's it. That's all I wanted to do. Just real quick, I just wanted to make a little bit of speculation about this. $2,800 in 20 days, which you might think is not really bad, but it's not good either. Like I said, maybe he's gonna get, I mean, we're at 26 and 27 right now, so you know, we're the 26 and 27. He got like another 100 in the morning or some shit. Piece of Peace, I think, is streaming him right now as I'm filming this at 1:18 a.m. You can't see it, but that's what I think. So ladies and gentlemen, I just want to make a short video about this. 15 minutes, 16 minutes is good enough. It's been a pleasure. You know what to do. If you like, blah blah blah, you know what to do. Ladies and gentlemen, this is scumbag signing off. Take care of yourselves and see you soon. Bye-bye.